Greetings to one and all joining us on behalf of Gallop TV and the entire crew. We'll be recording pre-early as we always do the day before, so early doors for the meeting at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, which will take place on the 2nd of November. We are recording very early on Saturday, so take note of any additional scratchings and changes. And let's get straight into the action. Joining us on the line is Brandon Bailey. How do we find you this morning, Brandon?
Sheldon, really well. Thank you very much. Certainly hope that you in good spirit yourself. I know that it's been a busy couple of days in Durban. Of course, this is a pre-recorded show, so you had the night race meeting yesterday at Hollywoodbets Greyville, which was awesome to see. But it's good to be back at HQ. I think many punters have been waiting to get back to Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, so it's all systems go.
Let's get straight into race number 1, and this is for the work riders. Nice to see them get a chance with number 10, Lady Lay, priced up at even money. Number 1, What a Stars, 4-1. Morphelia, number 2, is at 9-2, and then 7-1 bar the rest. Now, this short price favoured at even money. Any excuses for that last effort, Brandon?
Sheldon, I'm not sure even money, too many punters will be taking that sort of a price. I mean, we have to be cautious. Very disappointing last time from Lady Lay. She's a lot better than that, you have to think. I mean, beaten 8 and a bit lengths by Kalank. She was a beaten horse up the lane a long way from home on the 27th of September. But if she brings her penultimate start when running second to Playful Jules to the course, then she will take a power of beating. We know that this work rider, Louis Burke, is out of the top draw. He does lots of work back at Futura Park for Justin Snaith. The blinkers have been fitted, and if that does do the trick, I think she'll take a lot of beating. So let's see what happens. We've just got to watch her in the parade ring, watch her move down to the starts. As you well know, and I'm sure punters out there know very well as well, if these horses do throw their head up and they tear down to the start with the blinkers fitted, then it can be problematic. But Justin Snaith and his team, they run a very professional outfit. I'm sure she's had the blinkers on back at home, and she must be doing some good work with him, and that's why they've gone with it for race time. So she will be my top selection. There will be dangers. I like the fact that number 1, What a Star, is back up the lane at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. 1,000 meters. She's got one style of running. She'll go out there and she'll make them all work. If she gets her fractions right and she gets away at the right time, she could be hard to peg back. So big respect for number 1, What a Star. And then you can make a case for the stable companion to the favorite, number 2, Morphelia. So Sheldon, I don't like the look of the race. I mean, you could even mention number 6, Mr. Shackleton, who bounced back to form last time. So just word of advice from my side, play cautious in the opener.
So there we go, play a little bit cautiously in race number 1 as we move on to race number 2, where number 5, Touched by Angels. Nice to see the Peter Muscat stable starting to send out their runners. Richard Ferrier aboard, 4-1 down, 7-2. Number 7, Gallic King from 5-1, 9-2, along with number 10, Protector of Peace. Number 1, Hilton Heads, a first timer, is 5-1, and then it's 7-1 and better the rest. Now remember that run of Touched by Angels here in KwaZulu-Natal, first time out, and they expected a decent performance, currently at 7-2, but when you look at the runners beneath them, there's quite a bit of form to go with in race number 2, and these youngsters improve at different rates.
Spot on. That's exactly it, Sheldon. I've been waiting. You know, when you watch racing and you get that little black book out, there was one horse that went straight in after its first run, and that was number 5, Touched by Angels. Really took off late. That was a great run behind Johnny Boy, the stable companion. We do need to respect the fact that obviously when Richard Ferrier gets booked around for Peter Muscat, they're there to do business. Of course, last Cape Summer season, they had a wonderful time of things. So I'm sure this horse will improve sixfold. Number 5, Touched by Angels, a lovely looking horse. You won't miss that one for sure. So you've got to mention that in your top selection, Sheldon. But as you mentioned, there's 4 more round. Let's talk about number 7, Gallic King. He'll catch your eye moving down to the start. He's a beautiful colters. James Crawford really flying at the moment. Louis Mkotwa gets the ride. He'll improve quite a bit from his first run into his second run, and I have no doubt that he'll love the straight at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. So 7, Gallic King needs to go into the play. And if you like Gallic King, then you need to like number 10, Protector of Peace. Of course, that debut run was a real good run behind Marcus Aurelius when going down narrowly in a tight finish. And now that form line, Sheldon, just in behind or just in front of Protector of Peace was a horse called Joye de Flute, who ran its game race race, honest race during the course of the week at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. But even further down the page, there was a horse called Vine Warrior, who ran second last on that occasion, and he came out to improve quite a bit. He ran second to Ignite the Fire on the 29th of October. So that form line can be watched closely. I think they'll fight it out, Sheldon. It just depends how much improvement Touched by Angels has made. 7 Galley King and number 10 Protector of Peace. And even a horse like number 13, Umzingeli Wenyati, for the Hollywood Racing Team. Clinton Binder, he did mention that this horse will probably just need the one run in the Western Cape, but you can watch him next time out. Calvin Habib has been booked to ride, so please watch number 13, Umzingeli Wenyati. Open race, Sheldon. I don't like the look of it. For the bar pot, you're going to have to go a good 3 or 4 horses.
That'll take us on to race number 3, the opening leg of the place accumulator. And once again, looking at the betting, not cut and dried. Number 4, Our Owner Castle, is 3-1. Sean Veal for the James Crawford stable for the Hollywood Racing. Number 7, Silver Salute, a first-timer, Craig Zaki and Dean Kanemayer, 7-2. Number 2, Vixen's War, 5-1. 6-1, 7 No Trump, which is number 9. And then 7-1 and Better the rest. Any talk about the first timer, number 7, Silver Salute, on the ground?
I've heard nothing as it stands, Sheldon. We'll try and get the lowdown. Obviously, the presentation team will get the lowdown on this filly, so it's not going to help viewers now that are watching the podcast. But I think Dean Kanemayer in general, we need to watch his yard closely over the next couple of weeks and months. He's got some lovely horses coming through the ranks. Craig Zaki, he's a man that's really banging them home left, right and centre. Of course, he had a wonderful time in Kabeja on Friday, and he'll be rearing to go to get back to HQ on Sunday. So watch number 7, Silver Salute. But Sheldon, I'm prepared to get egg on my face. I like this horse and I like her a lot. Number 2, Vixen's War. She had absolutely no luck in her last 2 starts. She was drawn 13 of 14 at Hollywoodbets Durbanville last time. She ran 4th, beaten 2.5 lengths at Star World. She was forced to do some work early, and just at last, but she became 1 pace. I've been waiting for her to come up the straight at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Inside draw, we'll have to see where they want to go up the lane. Obviously, we're not sure what they want to do in terms of their race riding style. First time back at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth over the last couple of months. So let's watch number 2, Vixen's War. I think you said she's in the region of 9-2, 5-1. I'm prepared to go and take an each way bet on that. I like her quite a bit in race 3.
Right, that'll take us along to race number 4, and Serena Mudley, he's absolutely thriving at the moment. He's riding at the top of his game, and number 4 is the money horse, Sabine Platner's runner for the Andre Nel stable. From 6-1, they've put the money down 7-2. Number 11's gone 7-2 joint, Hazel Green. Number 1 is 4-1, and then it's 5-1 about number 12, South of France. How well is Serena Mudley doing at the moment? Absolutely flying.
Unbelievable. But it was just a matter of time, Sheldon. He just needed to get those opportunities. He's always been a wonderful rider and, of course, just a wonderful human being as well. He's going to have a big season. I mentioned it in the very start. He's got the support in Johannesburg. He's got the support in Cape Town. And, of course, he has got the support in KZN as well. So, good man. He deserves it. Sheldon, he finds himself on a very nice horse here, Rosewood. She's impeccably bred. She'll improve quite a bit from her first run into her second run. If he can get her into a good position, which I'm sure won't be a problem from a good draw, I'm expecting her to run a big race, number 4, Rosewood. And you did mention there's been quite a bit of early support already. So healthy respect for this 3-year-old filly. But it doesn't stop there, Sheldon. There's a number of horses that are improving. Of course, number 1, Boozy Susie, now gets a draw. Sean Veal for James Crawford. I'm expecting her to run a big race. And further down the page, number 8, Nanny Gold. She only got going when the race was over last time. Chad Little will try and slot her in. If she's just got 3 or 4 lengths to make up into the home straight, I'm expecting her to go very close as well. And then further down the page, of course, a horse that just keeps earning. Little ATM machine is number 11, Hazel Green. We talk about riders that are riding at the top of their game. JP van der Merwe has come very well. He's in for a big Cape summer season. So 11, Hazel Green, you could make a mention there as well. But Sheldon, if I was looking to make some money in race number 4, I'm going to follow the punters. I agree, number 4, Rosewood, could be the right one.
Rightio, let's move on to race number 5, and when having a look at race number 5, number 4, Native Ruler is 13-10, number 6, Okavango at 2-1, number 1, Captain West, that's trading in the region at 33-10, take note that you can scratch horse number 3, I believe it is. I think number 3 is out in this contest. That's what we have at this point in time. And then looking at the rest of the field, let's see what there is. A horse like Whispering Death and Nyaka. But when push comes to shove, let's get into the action here. And race number 5, Native Ruler at 13-10 versus Okavango 2-1. Which of the camps are you in?
So, Sheldon, it's quite a trappy race because a number of these horses are probably just going to need their first run back after a small break. Interestingly enough, I think these two horses galloped at Hollywoodbets Durbanville for the breakfast morning, Native Ruler and Okavango. And then you can't write off a horse like Captain West. I know he's been frustrating to follow because he oozes class. He's a lovely-looking gelding. From a good draw, Callan Murray for James Crawford. I've always thought probably his best trip would be a 1400, but they step him up to a mile where he has run some decent races. If he can just round his race off a little bit better, I think number 1, Captain West, with the fitness edge on his side, could be competitive. But Sheldon, again, and I don't want to sound like a stuck record, it's just that competitive. Hard to come here and put your chest out and say have a bet on anything because Native Ruler, he's classy. I mean, I don't need to touch on his form lines. You can see the form for yourself. He's got all the ability in the world. It just depends whether or not he's going to need the run. And the same thing can be said about number 6, Okavango. So if I was going to go and dive into exotics, I think 1, 4 and 6 should be more than enough in this race.
Right, just having a little bit of a glitch with the internet system. So there were 2 horses that I did mention. Don't scratch number 3 at this stage. Let's get that clarified. There's 2 horses that I did mention, but they are running a Turfentine. My machine seems to be on the blink here, so we'll go straight on to race number 6 and hope the signal comes back. And this is the Southeaster Sprint, listed over 1,100 meters. And while I get this sorted out, Brandon, can I hand the baton over to you, please?
Absolutely, Sheldon. So just to go back to that 5th race, I can absolutely confirm that 3, the Grey King and 5, Bombers in the Sky, have been scratched. So that's what's come through on the website. So just for the viewers out there, race 5, 3 and 5 have already been scratched. We'll touch on race number 6, Southeaster Sprint, listed event. This is good enough to be a Group 2 field, in my opinion. You've got a horse like Arctic Wizard, number 1, who's done nothing wrong since being gelded. Corner offer for Greg Enyen. He's certainly improving at a rate of knots as number 1, Arctic Wizard. He's got a lovely action, and I know Greg Enyen's often said that they've got some nice feature races lined up for this individual, so he must go into the play. 3, Sardinia Bay. On paper, he's got it all to do. He carries 52, but Sheldon, there's so many horses in the Western Cape that are lightning fast, and this is one of them. He's just an absolute speedball, is number 3, Sardinia Bay. It's interesting enough that Muzieni's opted to ride Sardinia Bay ahead of Arctic Wizard, who he's got a good relationship with. He's just got the speed. He's got so much more improvement to come. So at about 14-1, please include number 3, Sardinia Bay. But there's so many others I can touch on. I mean, Raven Black, he needed his last run back. He's going to improve. 6, Scottish Kiss, has done nothing wrong of late. He just keeps winning, and I thought his most recent performance when the saddle slipped was very impressive. He went 7 lengths clear and stayed there, number 6, Scottish Kiss. 7, Kai Boy. I'm not entirely convinced it was the apprentice's best ride, to be honest with you. He cornered deep, and this horse needs a bit of cover early. So watch for better run from number 7, Kai Boy. Aldo Dume gets the ride for Candace Bass. And then even number 9, Ziyasha. He's got to have a big chance. I've spoken to Robert Bloomberg about number 13, the US of A. They say he's in a good spirit back at home. He's certainly popping at the moment, is number 13, the US of A. So Sheldon, just the short end of it, this is a nightmare. This is probably the most tricky race on the entire card. If you can, go the big F. Go with field in your exotics. Take the plunge.
There we go, take the plunge, and I'm going to take the plunge in race number 7 and hope this is 100% correct now, and we're back on track when it comes to the internet. This is the Cape Classic Grade 3, due off at 16:15, and just to double check here, scratched is number 4, Saudi Cat. So number 4, Saudi Cat is the scratching, and Brandon, these graded races are lovely to see, and this Grade 3 Cape Classic, where will you be looking for a winner?
So, Sheldon, I'm not going to bore the viewers. There's a number of horses, again, that you could really make a case for because they're smart. They're lovely 3-year-olds, and I'm sure a number of these horses will be trying to get their run into the Cape Guineas a bit later on in the year. Sheldon, I'm going to go with Randolph Hurst. Funny enough, that's my pick at about 9-2. I know he's been rested 134 days and he's been gelded in the interim. JP van der Merwe for Justin Snaith. I've always thought he's a very smart horse. So 9 Randolph Hurst, if he's anywhere near ready to rock and roll, I think he'll be right on top of them. But the race doesn't stop there. I mean, you've got horses like Aristocratic, who ran a cracker last time. I know Good For You just needed his last run. Of course, Glenn Cotton and his team certainly plotting a path for him for the rest of the season in Cape Town. If he can beat the draw, he'll be competitive. And then even Absolutely Yes, who had no luck. I think the saddle slipped on that occasion last time. So interesting race. We'll see where they are in terms of ability after the running of this particular race. But Sheldon, my each-way play will be number 9 Randolph Hurst.
Right, we're up and running now, so let me just give you the betting for the 7th race. Number 8, Aristocratic, is 22-10. 5-2, number 10, Good For You. Number 9, Randolph Hurst, is 9-2, and then 6-1, and Better the Rest. We're now going to move on to races 8 and 9. If you're looking to play the last double on the card, and looking at race number 8, you can take out the 2 reserve runners there. So take out the 2 reserve runners, take out numbers 15 and 16 as I have it. Number 8, Green Gateway, Craig Zaki and Dean Kannemeyer, 3-1, the marginal favourite. Number 11, Night Rain, is 33-10. Gavin Arena does duty for Vaughan Marshall. Number 4, Star Major at 5-1. And then number 6, Street Outlaw. How was that move last time, Brandon? From 20-1 right down to favourite.
Spot on, and he got the job done. At one stage, I thought the Apprentice had maybe gone a little bit too hard, but he got away 500 from home. He was still going nicely and up the lane at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. When you looked again at the 200, he had a good 5.5 lengths advantage. So well done to the guys that latched on to the 20-1. I'm sure there were some shrewd punters out there that are still living off of that money. But Sheldon, I like a horse here, and I might have it all wrong, but I couldn't believe the opening price of about 5-1. This horse, Star Major, number 4, Louis Mtwatwa for James Crawford. He's a lot better than his rating of 89. He's done nothing wrong in his career. Of course, he won his maiden on the 21st of June up over 1,400 meters at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. That was a nice fighting victory from him. They opted to put him away for a small amount of time. And I thought his comeback run was out of the top draw. He was drawn 12-13 at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. He came out running. There were a number of horses that kicked up and were looking for the lead, and he was forced to do just a little bit too much, too early. But he was catching the eye, hand over fist late last time behind What a Fortune. Now, if you pull that form line up, Sheldon, dead heat in the race, of course, just in front of him was Saudi Cat, who they deemed good enough to be among some of the group features a bit later on in the season. You had Boogie Fight, who was just a short head in front of him and went down narrowly to Fox on the Run on Wednesday afternoon. And then you had Star Major, and of course even further down was Gimme Rules. Now, I know Gimme Rules had hard luck stories on that occasion, but that's a form line to follow on the 22nd of September. So Sheldon, if he's made the improvement back at home, I couldn't believe the price. I think 5-1, certainly worth having a nibble on.
That'll take us on to race number 9, and that's the lucky last at 17.25, all things being equal. And at the early time of recording, number 10, Cassandra, is scratched, and with Hollywood, they currently have a 20% deduction as it stands. The updated betting, number 11, Wait For Me, Richard Ferry and Vaughan Marshall, 22-10. And then I know your value bet, number 1, Up in Flames, that is JP van der Merwe doing duty at 33-10. Number 5, Homing Pigeon at 5-1. 11-2, number 8, Viva Pelé, and then it's 7-1 and Better the Rest. Now tell us about number 1, Up in Flames. This is your value selection for the meeting.
You never want to be overly confident when it comes to the open maiden, Sheldon, but she's progressive, and Michelle Ricks and her team are absolutely outstanding at placing horses and putting them in the right races at the right time. And I think here's a perfect example. One, Up in Flames, ran second last time. If punters can, go and watch the replay. She was low flying behind Sesame. Now, I know Sesame also came from a long way back, but she was doing some good work herself. She's just progressive. She's run some lovely races. We go to the start of her career. where she ran fifth beaten 4 bit lengths by a horse like Viva La Vida, who Vaughan Marshall thinks the world of. Then followed that up, maybe a little bit disappointing, ran 7th beaten 5 bit lengths by Splash of Colour. Then they opted to try over some ground, and she ran 4th, and that's the run where she was also doing some good work late behind Beach Verse. Now, we know Beach Verse is well related. She won a super race with Richard Furry on Wednesday afternoon at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. And then last time out, second to Sesame, had 1 or 2 hard luck stories. I think from a perfect draw, stepping up to 1,800 meters, doesn't look to be the strongest of fields. 33 to 10, 4 to 1. That's got to be some value for me, Sheldon, in the lucky last.
Well, that's the 9-race program at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Really looking forward to the meeting with the Grade 3 and a listed event and getting things into full swing. So that's a look at the 9 races that you've dissected. And now it's that time of the show where you go onto your suggested bet and all your followers will follow you with confidence. Take it away, Brandon.
Thanks very much, Sheldon. Like I've mentioned throughout the preview, not a card that you want to be overly confident with anything. It's a tricky card. There's a number of horses that'll improve quite a bit. So perhaps you do want to spend a bit of money on the exotics. The exotics are going to pay good money come Sunday afternoon. So what I'm going to do is tip up a bar, but I'm spending 192 Rand. First leg, we're going 5, 7, 10, and 13. Second leg, we'll go 2, 4, 6, and 14. By 1, 4, 8, and 11. By 1, 4, and 6. By Banker 3, by Banker 9. That slide will be up on your screen. I'm going to spend 192 Rand, and we'll be hoping to catch that bar pot a few times. My best bet, race 9, number 1, that will be Up in Flames in the region of 33 to 10. I certainly think there's some value to be had at that price. I can see some money coming late, just depending on what punters have done throughout the day. But best bet for me, race 9, number 1, Up in Flames from a good draw. And my value bet at 5 to 1. I don't think you'll be 5 to 1 for too long. Race 8, number 4, Star Major.
Well, thanks very much, Brandon, for all the hard work you do behind the scenes and on the race days. The punters really value the input. You've given us the 9 races. So best of luck, and may you have a wonderful day's racing.
Very kind of you. Thank you so much, Sheldon. Love working alongside you. Thanks to your team behind the scenes, of course, to the viewers out there. Hoping that they have a good weekend. And yes, Sheldon, I think from a sporting aspect, in terms of being a racing purist, this is a weekend you want to be alive. So enjoy it. We'll chat soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much to Brandon Bailey joining us on the line. Early doors on Saturday for the Sunday meeting. And let's hope that your horse runs faster than the rest of the field.